what is something that is misunderstood by people outside of stop motion? I think we get a lot of that here, where in all our departments, we know that there's something that other departments, other people maybe take for granted, don't understand how it works. So it could diminish their storytelling capabilities if they don't know that these things are a certain way. What's something out there that you find that is misunderstood?
I'll give you a joke answer and a real answer.
I'll take them both.
The joke answer, and this is, any animator listening to this will probably agree with me, is sort of claymation becoming a blanket term for all of stop motion. Claymation was Will Vinton's trademarked technique. Will Vinton, who did the California Raisins and the Noid and all of that stuff. Yeah. So claymation refers specifically to that. You could make an argument that you could apply it to any stop motion that's done with clay or clay figures. But I think for me and every other stop motion animator, when they hear claymation as a term being kind of thrown around to describe stuff with silicone puppets or 3D printed faces or anything like that, it's like, oh, that's not the same thing. It's like one is a subset of the other.
Well, before you get to the other answer, aside from the technical, like you're not working with clay situation, is it also like sort of a Kleenex and tissue kind of situation? Like claymation was his thing?
Yeah, exactly. Because claymation is trademarked. It's or copyrighted.
Very much the artistic style that he was kind of bringing to it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay. It's like Harryhausen had Dynamation, which was the name for his technique of using rear projected live action footage and stop motion puppets. Like Dynamation and claymation, those are all sort of trademark techniques. If I was a little goofier, like one of these days, I'd try to come up with a term like that for whatever the hell it is that I'm trying to do. But I don't have the guts.
Well, me and James already, we use the term the Chaskin method with Hullabaloo, with our filling in the ones and twos. Like that technique you taught me that adds in the motion blur and everything. We just call that the Chaskin method. So
I mean, that makes me happy, but I feel like I can't fully take credit for that. That's a weird, almost a glitch in After Effects that I discovered accidentally to essentially tween animation that's been shot on twos, and Jake used it to great effect when doing the compositing for one of my short films, and then you also used it with James Lopez's amazing series. But yeah, so claymation, Chaskin method, Dynamation, they're all equally impressive things, he said with sarcasm. I think the biggest misconception, or not even a misconception, just kind of a knowledge gap, and I run into this with clients as well as people budgeting, is the fact, and I think I touched upon this a little bit earlier, unlike any other type of animation or visual effect, stop motion is straight ahead, meaning, with a CG animated sequence, you can block it, render it out, decide you don't like something, tweak a bit of performance, render it out again. Same with 2D. You might animate by starting with the core of the body, get that looking good, then go in and do one of the arms. Stop motion, it's all physical objects in camera under physical lights. If you have a crowd scene with 30 puppets in it, you're animating all 30 of those at once and keeping track in your head of what they're all doing, which is challenging, but that's masochistically, I think, why so many of us love it so much. The misconception, I think, is the idea that things can easily change. I'll be working with a commercial client or a producer, and this extends to fabrication as well. It'll be an 8-week puppet build, and we've had a 2D design approved, and we've been showing them progress every step of the way. And then a week before the puppet's supposed to hit the stage to shoot, someone will say, what if the nose was a different shape? Or what if the puppet was green instead of blue? And be like, well, there are multiples of these. We've got 80 of this puppet, and they've all been painted green last week. So, I think it's That's kind of what's wonderful about the art form, is that spontaneity and those happy accidents do get baked in. But when working in a commercial capacity, dealing with people at various tiers and trying to explain a vision and getting sign off on it, I think more than any other art form, it's imperative to really drill in, like, hey, what you're seeing now is what it is, and if we want to change it, this is the time. And I know that's true with so many overworked VFX artists, and the money adds up no matter what. I think the difference with stop motion is it really does hit a point of no return where you're like, okay, that's what it is, unless you want to reshoot the whole movie.